Hey guys, welcome back to the Watches and Giggles channel. I'm Chris from Chicago. First off, as always, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate it. Guys, in today's vid, we're going to talk about Rolex, and we're going to talk about Rolex supply in 2021 and what is happening with our ability to buy any model of Rolex from an authorized dealer, and what is happening with supply, what is happening with availability, and what is happening with authorized dealers, and are they being eliminated one by one, picked off like rabbits and deers in the woods? Are they being taken down? We're going to discuss all that today, but before we do, we'll see what I'm wearing. And today, guys, I have on my Rolex Explorer 214270, newly discontinued, 39 millimeter. For me, it's perfect. I do have some news on the forefront, as my wife has finally decided she would like a Rolex watch, the new 36 millimeter Rolex. She wants to be matchy-matchy with her husband, so we can wear these at the same time, and I think it's the perfect size for her. So I'm going to be trying to get one allocated or be put on the list for one. So yeah, guys, that's kind of some cool news. Also, later in the video, we're going to be opening up this box and showing what I have in here as far as my collection, because some things have happened. That is correct. But let's get into Rolex, guys. Let's get into supply. Let's get into authorized dealers. Let's get into availability. What the heck is going on? Well, if you watched my last vid, you will know that the authorized dealer that I use for Rolex is James & Sons on Halstead. That location has lost, sadly to say, their ability to sell Rolex. Thankfully, they are able to move that location out to the suburb of Naperville, and they will be opening a new store there. But as far as Chicago goes, there are only two authorized dealers left. The boutique on Michigan Avenue and a big box store, Rancy Jewelers, on Oak Street. So only two locations in Chicago now officially sell Rolex watches. Yes, you can buy Rolex watches elsewhere in Chicago. There are a bunch of jewelers and other watch stores, but for authorized purchases, only two locations. Two for the whole city of Chicago. That's kind of crazy. We have millions of people here fighting for these watches. That's why I guess took me 9 months to get this watch, because at the time I didn't know it was going to be discontinued, and I was bitching and moaning on some of my previous videos. How come it's taking me 9 months to get an Explorer? Well, now I know why, because this beautiful watch was being discontinued. And that's another thing. If you look on the gray market for this watch now, prices have gone insane, which I guess is no surprise, which what has been happening with watches that get discontinued. But I saw on one gray market site for a new unworn one asking $13,500 for a Rolex Explorer. That's lunacy. That is ludicrous. That is crazy. Do not pay those prices. I mean, maybe you'll have to 5-10 years from now, but my God, don't pay that now. That's crazy. It is. Don't get me wrong. I love this watch. It's my everyday watch. I wear it to work. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I actually have a 6-month review of this watch coming up shortly. But is it worth $13,500? I mean, I don't think so. But in any case, real quick, cheers. Actually drinking a little beer. For anyone that's in Chicago, Twisted Hippo. This is an oatmeal stout, Black Umbrella. It's going to be harder for me to make videos now. I'm working a lot, just had a kid. So the wife and kid are actually out at a bar. Man, that sounds bad when I actually just say that out loud. But my wife met a bunch of her friends, most of them with children, at a bar right now. And they're having a couple drinks, not too many because she drove. But I'm sure she won't. She's responsible. But that sounded bad when I said it like that. Anyways, so it's going to be harder for me to make vids. It's going to be probably when they're out of the house or my kid's taking a nap or yada, yada, yada. But it's going to be harder for me to pump out content. So these videos are going to come out at all shapes, times, sizes. No, there's going to be no rhyme or reason. But again, I do this for fun. But let's get back to what we were talking about. So Rolex and authorized dealers. So it looks like Rolex, is shutting down authorized dealers. I have been receiving lots of emails from you after my last vid from around the United States of America saying that in many different states, authorized dealers are shutting down. About 4 or 5, actually maybe around 6 or 7 of you from different states have said that authorized dealers are shutting down in your state and you're no longer able to buy Rolex watches there. They have lost their ability to sell Rolex. So is Rolex moving slowly but surely to selling boutique only? Well, I'm not a brain surgeon, but it really looks like that is Rolex master plan. I'm sure it's going to take a long time, probably between 5 and 10 years, but they are actually trying to reach exclusivity levels of Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet. And their watches, in my opinion, guys, don't get mad at me. I love Rolex just as much as the next guy, but they are not anywhere near the quality of Patek Philippe or Audemars Piguet. So I don't know why they're trying to do this, but they are trying to make their watches just as exclusive and just as expensive for not as nice of a watch, in my opinion. And I love Rolex. I think it's a great everyday watch. I think it wears beautifully. It sits like butter on the wrist. You can wear it. It's usable. It is absolutely awesome. It is supposed to be a watch that you can actually buy. But now, oh yeah, open this up, give you a glimpse into the collection, it's turning to Tudor. Tudor and Omega are the watches that we can now buy out the window or walk into a dealer and buy. As far as Rolex is concerned, that is going out the window. And I went to, well, both of the locations in Chicago now that sell Rolex recently, and a couple of the suburbs, and they didn't have anything. They had a couple Cellinis or Cellini, I'm not sure exactly how you say it. A few of those, a couple Datejusts, 36 millimeters, not 41, and that's it. And that was at all the locations in Chicago. No gold watches. Gold watches are becoming just as hard to get as steel. It is insane. I have a bunch of big heavy hitter friends, a bunch of VIPers, exclusive A-listers, whatever you want to call them. And they are saying the same thing, that gold watches are just as hard, if not harder to get than steel right now, which is nuts. Go ahead, go to your authorized dealer and ask for a solid gold sub, which is going for what? MSRP, I think 36 or 37 now. They might laugh at you if you don't have a relationship with them, where before you would get 5 to 10% discount. It is just crazy what is happening with Rolex. If you look at gray market prices, they are going absolutely bonkers right now. Where it's been said in the past video that Rolex Daytona, the Panda, might get to 40,000. Well, it's there. I saw a few listed on the gray market, brand new, unworn, for $39,075. So almost there, but it's pretty much there. $40,000 for a steel Panda. Crazy. So where does this leave us? How the hell are we supposed to buy any watches? For me, it just got almost impossible because the relationship that I had with James & Sons, the jeweler on Halstead, they lost their ability there to sell Rolex. Hopefully I'll be able to reconnect with the one that is being built out in Naperville. But, that's no guarantee, and they're going to be flooded with people over there that are able to get to the store quicker. For me, it's now an hour to an hour and a half drive, depending on traffic. And it's a bummer for me because I spent years and years developing this relationship, was able to purchase these 3 watches at MSRP from them. Was hoping to get a bluesy to celebrate my 40th birthday from them. I don't know if that's still a possibility. I'll inquire more down the road, but guys, these watches are just becoming almost impossible to get if you are not spending some serious cash and have a relationship already built in. Excuse me a second. Cheers again. So where does this leave us? Well, you either have to play the game, buy in the gray market, get lucky, charm the pants off your sales associate or manager, right place, right time, email a whole bunch of ADs, see if something sticks. But if you don't have an already established relationship with Rolex, it is really going to be hard for you to acquire the piece that you want. So that leaves other brands, Tudor, Omega, Zenith, JLC, just to name a few that you can walk in and buy pretty much anything, Panerai. I mean, if you are a true enthusiast and you actually really do love watches, and I would like to consider myself an enthusiast, a watch enthusiast, we're going to have to move on to other brands because I don't have the spending power to just buy whatever I want to keep building a relationship with my authorized dealer. I have inquired for the 36 millimeter new Explorer for my wife. I have moved on from two pieces. I have moved on from an Omega Seamaster, the blue wave dial, 8800, and a Grand Seiko I had to sell to make way to purchase the watch for my wife because I do want to celebrate my 40th birthday with the bluesy if that ever happens. Again, I'm not super rich. I can't buy whatever I want, so those two had to go. It was really close between the Tudor and the Omega Seamaster, but in the end, I like the aesthetics better on the Tudor, even though it sits higher and is a hockey puck on the wrist, but the GMT function, this is my travel watch and my beater. I like to golf in it, do all sorts of other things with it. So also, since I have it out, this is my 1861 with the new 3861 bracelet. If you have an 1861, highly recommend you putting the 3861 bracelet on. It is a little expensive at, what was it? $680 with tax and shipping, about $730. 100% worth it in my opinion. It wears beautifully. But for Rolex, guys, I believe they are moving to boutique only and a plan probably within the 5 to 10 year range on doing so. And, it sucks. It really sucks. There's no other way of putting it. But that's going to do it for today, guys. I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's healthy. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.